Hello and thank you for watching this regional forecast for the Corn Belt. I'm Andrew Pritchard, Senior Meteorologist with Nutrien Ag Solutions. Well, it's a chilly morning across parts of the central and northern plains. Parts of western and northwestern Iowa dropping into the mid-20s this morning. I saw Spencer, Iowa at 25 degrees here at 6 o'clock this morning. We've got some 20s found across southern Minnesota all the way into northern Minnesota, North Dakota, back across Nebraska, and then some lower 30s across central and southern Wisconsin. Again, a very chilly morning, some 20s there across northern Michigan as well. The pattern has just favored these continuous shots of cool, dry air out of the Canadian prairie. You can almost just visualize that happening right here as we look at the satellite loop here early this morning. The sun has not yet come up. All the tropical moisture, all of the convective activity, thunder and lightning across the Atlantic, down in the Gulf Coast, and that is just simply going to be the case as we head through the next week or so. Now, as we get started this morning, we do have some moisture making its way through the northern plains, some very light showers coming out of the Dakotas. This little system is going to make its way out of the plains and then down into out of the northern plains and into the central Corn Belt as we get into Saturday and Sunday, bringing some light showers with it into the eastern Corn Belt. But we have seen the long-range models walk back the precipitation totals as we've gotten closer to this weekend's event, and that just simply makes sense with all of the deep moisture being confined to the Gulf Coast and the Atlantic. Again, that's just been the story that I've been repeating. You're probably sick of hearing it, but the pattern does not support heavy precipitation across the Corn Belt right now, and it won't for at least the next week. So here's the last 72 hours. We've seen a little bit of heavier rain here, maybe a few areas picking up a half an inch to an inch from parts of northeastern Minnesota through central Wisconsin, and then across the lower Michigan there. We've seen some heavier precipitation, but just spotty showers across the eastern Corn Belt, parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, seeing those isolated showers during the day yesterday, just enough to moisten the top layer of the soil there before it dries out as the sun comes right back out 15 or 20 minutes later. Led to some photogenic skies. I snapped this one here in Champaign County, Illinois, there in east central Illinois. Again, just these little showers meandering through the area, riding on the very cool air that we have aloft. It creates that little imbalance there. So even though it is chilly at the ground, we have some instability. We pop up these little showers, in some cases a few rumbles of thunder, and even some small hail across parts of central Illinois and some graupel across the area. And then we got a very good sunset there. I went out for a well-timed dog walk with Henry yesterday afternoon, and then saw the sunset come in and light up the underside of one of those light showers making their way over Champaign-Urbana. So a photogenic day yesterday, maybe a little bit of a nuisance shower over some of the fields there, but here's the story as we head through the next week. If I were to try and tell it with two graphics, it would be cooler temperatures lingering in the east, and then just very light rain chances this weekend, but overall dry conditions continuing into next week. So overall harvest conditions look to be a go in most areas. The problem spot would be as you get closer to the Great Lakes, and that just becomes related to the light moisture opportunities and the cooler temps in that area. Now we've got a potential warm-up here as we get into mid to late next week across the central and eastern portions of the Corn Belt as we start to transition patterns just a little bit. We get a little bit of a progressive nature to it, at least allowing us to break from this highly amplified pattern. So maybe the pattern relaxing would be a better way to talk about it. So here's where we head then as we go through the weekend. We're going to continue to see shots of cool, dry air coming out of the prairie. This pattern isn't going anywhere as we head through the weekend into early next week. Really, it's as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week that we start to see this Hudson Bay Great Lakes trough kind of pivot such that the trough kind of rotates over to the northeast, over the Canadian Maritimes there. And now we've got some subtle ridging across the Corn Belt, across the central U.S. And what that does with our temperatures, again, shots of cool air continue into the weekend and early next week. So this is not a warm-up that's coming this weekend in the central and the east. It's until we get to mid to late next week we'll start to feel some of that warm-up, even with a potential late-week reinforcing shot of cool air across, again, the Great Lakes and the eastern Corn Belt, with the bigger ridge and the bigger warm-up potentially coming in the day 10 time frame. So it's still way out there. We're talking about October 10th and 11th for that real big warm-up across the midsection of the country. But even as we continue to do that, it's dry air coming out of the prairie. So here's the map that I've been showing in every single forecast update for probably the last month and a half. And it's the same illustration. Cool, dry air coming out of the Canadian prairie down into the northern plains, sweeping across the central and eastern U.S. keeping all of the deep moisture confined to the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. So as long as this is the case, the pattern does not support significant precipitation across the Corn Belt. So here's the precipitation forecast then, just in raw format from the European operational model. We'll see that little system come swinging out of the Great Lakes, or I'm sorry, come swinging out of the northern plains into the Great Lakes as we head through the weekend. Here's the forecast here for 7 p.m. tonight. Just some light showers across the high plains, parts of South Dakota into Nebraska. We'll see that evolve into some showers here across southern Iowa, excuse me, and northern Missouri as we head into early Saturday morning. And then by Saturday night, we should see an area of showers extending from parts of Wisconsin and Michigan down into Illinois, and then perhaps some patchy showers all the way into southern Missouri, and then down along that front into the Ozarks. We'll see much of this rain moving into the eastern Corn Belt, lower Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, then down into the mid-south, parts of Kentucky and Tennessee as we head into the day on Sunday. And that effectively ends the precipitation chances over the next 7 days across just about all of the Corn Belt. We'll see a series of little clipper-like systems make their way through the Great Lakes that could bring some light showers to the UP of Michigan, maybe northern Minnesota into Wisconsin and lower Michigan as we head through Monday night into Tuesday, and then another one here as we go through Tuesday night into Wednesday. But that is it. We keep dry conditions across the Corn Belt. Harvest conditions will continue to be favorable as we head into the middle of October. So here's the accumulated precipitation forecast. Here's your little system swinging through the northern plains into the eastern Corn Belt this weekend, leaving maybe a few tenths of an inch in the heaviest corridors there, maybe a half an inch as you head up into lower Michigan. But across Iowa, Missouri, Illinois, into Indiana and Ohio, down into Kentucky and Tennessee, expecting very light precipitation here, scattered amounts anywhere from maybe 0.3 to 0.5 of an inch. Otherwise, we're looking at very much lighter, trace to a couple of tenths of an inch there. Just enough to moisten the top layer of soil. Sunshine coming back in Sunday into Monday. Breezy conditions possible at times as well, so we will dry out the soil there. And again, continue to keep things moving as far as harvest and field-related fall field operations are concerned. So we'll just quickly look at the wind forecast here. Again, with this little system coming out of the plains, today we could see some breezy conditions anywhere from the southern plains all the way into parts of Montana, Wyoming, and then western Nebraska. Won't see much in the way of winds or a tight pressure gradient with this one as it makes its way through the central and eastern Corn Belt. Maybe some stronger northwesterly winds across parts of Illinois and Indiana during the afternoon on Sunday. Breezier day on Monday as this next little front sweeps into the area. On Monday afternoon, we could see those winds gusting 30 to 40 miles per hour from the southern plains all the way into Iowa and then back across the Dakotas. Those breezy conditions could continue then to move across the Great Lakes as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, as we talk about cool air and the chance for sub-freezing temperatures, where are we looking for the freezing temperatures as we head through the next 4 overnights? Well, we have a line here. It's very faint, so I'll kind of try and draw some attention to it, or at least highlight the areas that we're watching. But overnight tonight into Saturday morning, looking at freezing temperatures anywhere across northern Minnesota down into central and northern Wisconsin, and then Michigan with that chance as well. As we go through Saturday night into Sunday, we're kind of looking at the northern plains into parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin. On Sunday night into Monday, this is when we could talk about parts of the central Corn Belt, the upper, maybe mid-Mississippi valleys, parts of eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, Wisconsin, and Michigan, again, flirting with sub-freezing temperatures. And then as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll start to warm back up. Now we're getting overnight temperatures in the 40s and 50s back across the Corn Belt. And finish with a look at your high temperatures then as we head into early next week. Chilly for the day today, 40s and 50s from the Great Lakes into the mid-Mississippi Valley. Here's a look at Saturday and Sunday. Not much difference here. Warmer in the west, cooler in the central part of the country. And then as we transition into the next work week, we will start to climb out of the very chilly basement we are in right now, with high temperatures returning to the 70s and 80s across the Corn Belt as we head deeper into next week. I hope you have a great day, a great Friday, a wonderful weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.